You probably know all of these world star players, but do you know what they all have in common? They all rose to fame at Borussia Dortmund, and in the past 10 years, Dortmund has sold 6 players that were worth more than 50 million euros, generating an insane amount of money for the club, and probably having hired fortune tellers instead of scouts with the amount of talent that they attract. But who are these players, and how much money did Dortmund actually generate from these 6 transfers? Let's find out. This first one may shock you since he's number 6 on the list, as he's been tormenting the Premier League ever since he arrived: Erling Haaland. Dortmund activated the 20 million buyout clause that was set by RB Salzburg after Manchester United rejected him on New Year's Day in 2020 to sign the 19-year-old at the time. And Haaland, well, in 89 games for Dortmund, he scored 86 times and made 23 assists. This guy was a machine, developing into its full potential during the 2.5 years he spent in Germany, becoming the most desired striker on the planet. However, I believe BVB should have set his release clause much higher, as City was able to trigger the release clause of 60 million euros, but ended up paying a total of 100 million pounds in total, including agent fees and signing bonuses taken into account. So with all calculations taking place, Dortmund made roughly 80 million euros off of the Norwegian. Now, before this player became Aubameyang achieved legendary status at Dortmund, having signed for them in the summer of 2013 for 13 million euros. In 4 years, Aubameyang played 213 games for the Black and Yellow and transformed into a real goal-scoring monster, scoring a whopping 141 times and assisting 36 goals. Insane stats once again, and from the bowler who in his last season for Dortmund had scored 31 league goals, clubs were interested all over the place, especially Arsenal, but they were not willing to pay the price asked by the Germans. But after being left out of 2 consecutive games after missing a team meeting, the Bundesliga side suddenly switched their tone and said a transfer can be on the table if they can reach certain parameters. Those parameters must have been make him a club record signing, because that's what Arsenal did, spending 64 million euros on the Gabon international, generating Dortmund 51 million euros in total. But this next player was probably the best investment of all. The young talent left the US at 17 years old to join the Dortmund Academy to realise his dream of becoming a professional footballer, which didn't take him long either. Having broken into the first team at 18 years old, Pulisic proved his soccer skills to a European audience, playing on the right as well as on the left wing efficiently. And at 20 years old, Pulisic was one of the most sought after young players, and even though BVB apparently tried to convince the American to stay at the Westfalenstadion, having scored 19 times and assisted 26 times in 127 games, Pulisic wanted to play in the Premier League and joined Chelsea for 64 million euros, the second worst price negotiators in the Prem. Still, that's pure profit right there. Now, the player who joined the worst price negotiating team in the Prem, Jadon Sancho. Dortmund signed Sancho at just 17 years old in 2017 for an estimated 9 million euros, even though Sancho had wanted to join Spurs, but City wouldn't let him join a Premier League rival, lol, to replace the player on the top of our list. And he really did. Sancho spent 4 successful years with the Schwarz-Gelben, securing a total of 50 goals and being featured in the Bundesliga Team of the Season 2 years in a row. But according to some rumours, Sancho was looking to return to the Premier League as he felt a lack of acceptance in the English national team with his achievements in the Bundesliga. And so he returns to England, to City's biggest Premier League rival, Manchester United, for a whopping 85 million euros. He has since returned to play for Dortmund on loan and has now completed a season at Chelsea, which is sad to see, but in the end, Dortmund has walked away with a juicy 76 million euro profit. Now, these last 2 players were signed for over 100 million euros, but how much profit did they actually generate? In second, we have another English international, Jude Bellingham. Bellingham became the most expensive 17-year-old signing ever, rejecting Manchester United as well as a tour around Old Trafford with Sir Alex Ferguson, and decided to move abroad to join BVB for 30 million euros. And in his first season at BVB, Bellingham won the German Cup with his fellow teammates and confirmed that he was the next England prodigy, becoming Borussia Dortmund's Player of the Year in his final season at the Westfalenstadion. And of course, during his evolution at Dortmund, many clubs continued trying to sign the midfielder, with Pep Guardiola apparently even personally speaking to him to convince him to join him at the Etihad, and Liverpool was a big contender as well. But Bellingham wanted guaranteed trophies, and once it was announced that his price tag could soar to triple digits, it was obvious where he would end up. Madrid coughed up 103 million euros plus 33 million euros in add-ons for the midfielder, leaving Bellingham to go on to win the Spanish league and the desired Champions League trophy in his first season at the club in BVB with a profit of 103 million euros. Now, to the final guy who I've actually already made a video on last week, Ousmane Dembélé. After having been voted France's Young Player of the Season and having been on the phone to Leicester City manager Claudio Ranieri and promptly rejecting him, Dembélé joined Borussia Dortmund for roughly 35 million euros in 2016, and he was more than just worth it. In 50 games, Dembélé was able to contribute 10 goals for Dortmund and assists 21 times. However, things ended up getting pretty messy once Dembélé heard that Barcelona was interested in signing him and basically forced the transfer to happen. If you want to know about this story and other scandals that Dembélé had been a part of, just click here to watch my latest video. So, reluctantly, Dembélé joined Barcelona for a staggering, add-ons included, 148 million euros, an insane price to pay, however affordable for Barcelona as they had just sold Neymar to PSG for a record transfer fee of 222 million euros, leaving Dortmund with a staggering 113 million euro profit. So, if we calculate the profit of the top 6 biggest transfers Dortmund has done over the years, we would reach the sum of 487 million euros. Wow. Thank you very much for watching this video, and comment down below if you'd like me to make a similar video on a different club and if you believe these players were actually worth the price that they were purchased for. Don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!